The warning was not written on a fine sheet. It was not delivered in a press conference, and it was not even spoken directly to her face in front of a camera. The warning was hidden in the silence. It was hidden in the 24 hours where the most powerful person in women's basketball refused to say a word while her biggest star was being headhunted on national television. You saw the headlines and you saw the discourse, but you missed the timing. Look at the timestamp on this screen right now. Saturday, June 1st, 1:04 p.m., the moment the hard foul happens. Now look at this one, Tuesday, June 4th. That is the gap. That is the void where the conspiracy lives. The media wants you to believe this is just about competition. They want you to believe that Chennedy Carter, Angel Reese, and the rest of the league are just welcoming a rookie to the pros. That is the safe story. That is the story that sells tickets without burning bridges. But we are not here for the safe story. We are here for the forensic timeline. We're going to dig up the deleted replies from Hall of Famers that prove this was premeditated. We're going to analyze the body language of the commissioner during that infamous CNBC interview that nobody wants to rewatch. We're going to show you the shadow roster of Team USA and how the decision to leave Caitlin Clark home was made months before the selection committee ever met. And finally, we are going to reveal the Grateful Doctrine, the leaked philosophy that explains why the league office turned a blind eye to the violence. By the time we're done, you will understand that the physical fouls were just the symptoms, but the disease was in the front office. Let us go back to the scene of the crime, not the foul itself, but the environment that allowed it. It's late May. The Indiana Fever are struggling. The schedule is brutal. The narrative is shifting from Caitlin is the savior to Caitlin is overwhelmed. This is the blood in the water. On June 1st, the Chicago Sky come to Indianapolis. This is not just a basketball game. It is a referendum on the draft class. Third quarter, the ball is dead. The whistle has blown. Caitlin Clark is standing near the baseline, waiting for an inbound pass. She is not looking at Chennedy Carter. She is not engaging. She says something to the ref. Carter hears it. Watch the footage frame by frame. Carter does not make a play on the ball. She does not try to deny the pass. She winds up. She drops her shoulder. She drives through Clark's blind side. Clark hits the floor. It's a non-basketball play. In the NBA, under Adam Silver, this is a flagrant 2, an ejection, and likely a suspension by the next morning. But in the WNBA, the referees call a common foul. They review it, yes, but they do not upgrade it. Why? Because the atmosphere in the arena and the atmosphere in the league had been primed for this moment. Carter knew she could get away with it. She knew the temperature was hot enough that a cheap shot would be interpreted as passion rather than assault. After the game, Carter refuses to answer questions about Clark. She said on camera that she ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions, but then she goes to Threads. This is the first receipt. She likes a comment suggesting Clark is only popular because of her race. She replies to another asking what she brings to the table besides three-point shooting. This is where the warning begins. It is not just that a player fouled her. It is that the player felt emboldened to double down publicly, mocking the league's golden goose, without fear of retribution. Carter was testing the fence. She was checking to see if the electric fence was on. And when the league office stayed silent for nearly 2 days, the message was sent to every other enforcer in the WNBA that the fence is off. You can touch her. You can hit her. We will not stop you. To understand why the league allowed this open season, we have to go back. We have to go back to Baton Rouge. We have to go back to Iowa City. The media treats the Clark-Reese dynamic like it started in the pros, but the toxicity is rooted in the soil of the NCAA. April 2023, the national championship, LSU versus Iowa. The ring point heard round the world. Angel Reese stalks Clark down the court, pointing to her ring finger, doing the "you can't see me" gesture. The internet breaks. The racial undertones of the discourse explode. But look at what happened to the locker rooms. That moment created a divide that the NWBA inherited. On one side, you had the new guard of hoopers who grew up on social media, who understand that conflict drives engagement. Angel Reese monetized that moment. She became a superstar off the back of that villain arc. On the other side, you had the establishment, the older players, the women who have been grinding in Russia and Turkey for pennies. They watched two college kids become the most famous female athletes on the planet overnight. They watched Caitlyn get a State Farm commercial while they were flying Southwest in the middle seat. This is the psychological context for the warning. When Caitlyn entered the league, she wasn't just a rookie. She was a symbol of everything the veterans felt they had been denied: respect, money, visibility. Sheryl Swoopes is the key witness here, a legend, a pioneer. But listen to her podcast appearance with Gilbert Arenas in February 2024. Before Caitlyn played a single minute in the WNBA, Swoopes tried to erase her history. She claimed Caitlyn played 5 years to break the record. That was false. She claimed Caitlyn took 40 shots a game. That was also false. Why would a Hall of Famer lie about easily verifiable stats? Because she was trying to lower the stock price. She was trying to devalue the asset before it hit the market. Swoopes was speaking for the silent majority of the league who felt threatened. Her comments gave permission to the rest of the league to treat Caitlyn not as a prodigy, but a media creation that needed to be exposed. Now we move to the digital forensics, the evidence that proved the warning was systemic. Receipt number 1 is the Diana Taurasi reality check. During the tournament, Taurasi goes on Scott Van Pelt's show. She says reality is coming. The tone is condescending, it's dismissive, but here's the deeper layer. Taurasi and Sue Bird run their own show together. They are the gatekeepers of WNBA culture. When Taurasi speaks, she is signaling the approved narrative. By framing Clark's arrival as a rude awakening, she set the table for the physical hazing. If Clark gets crushed, it's just reality. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy orchestrated by the people who control the game. Receipt number 2 is the Team USA snub. The selection committee released the roster in June, right in the middle of the firestorm. No Caitlin Clark. The reason given was experience and chemistry, but look at the history. In 2004, Taurasi was a rookie. She made the team. In 2008, Candace Parker was a rookie. She made the team. In 2016, Breanna Stewart was a rookie. She made the team. The experience argument is a lie. The truth is in the text messages we will never see, but can infer from the result. The veterans did not want her there. They did not want the circus. They did not want the fans chanting her name while they were trying to win gold. Leaving her off the team was the ultimate warning. It said, "You are not one of us yet. You do not get the prestige. You have to wait your turn, no matter how many tickets you sell." Receipt number 3 involves the deleted tweets. We have to talk about the activity of players like Carrington and Reese on X. After the hard fouls, after the controversies, they didn't go silent, they went on the offensive, liking tweets that minimized the violence, posting cryptic lyrics. Dejanai Carrington, after the eye poke incident where she caught Clark in the eye with a nail, tweeted essentially laughing off the criticism. In a normal corporate environment, or even in the NBA, the PR teams shut this down. You don't mock the injury of the face of the league. But the WNBA let it slide. Why? Because the engagement numbers were astronomical. The league office was looking at the spreadsheets. They saw that hate watching was still watching. They calculated that the drama, even if it was dangerous, was worth the squeeze. This brings us to the smoking gun, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. The interview on CNBC is the moment the mask slipped. She is asked about the racial toxicity. She is asked about the dark side of the fandom. And instead of denouncing it, instead of protecting her players, she pivots to a business analogy. She talks about Bird versus Magic. She talks about how rivalries built the NBA. Effectively, she said, this is good for business. Imagine you are Caitlin Clark watching that. The commissioner of your league just looked at people calling you names, people threatening your safety, people using you as a proxy for a culture war, and she saw dollar signs. That was the warning. The warning was that we will not save you. Then comes the leak, the report from the Nafisa Collier meeting, the one where players were allegedly told to be grateful. This is the core of the issue. The WNBA leadership has a scarcity mindset. They have spent decades begging for crumbs. So when a feast finally arrives in the form of Caitlin Clark, they resent her for not having starved with them. They want her to kiss the ring. They want her to say thank you for the jersey, when in reality, the league should be saying thank you for the charter flights. What happens when you send a warning like that? What happens when you tell a rookie she is on her own? The Indiana Fever locker room became a bunker. In the early season, you could see the disconnect. Aaliyah Boston, a #1 pick herself, looked frustrated. The chemistry was off. The veterans on her own team seemed hesitant to fully embrace the show. But then the shift happened, and this is where the warning backfired. The excessive physicality, the constant media attacks, the snub from Team USA, it galvanized the team. Kelsey Mitchell started playing the best basketball of her life. Aaliyah Boston found her rhythm. They circled the wagons. The league wanted Clark to be humbled. Instead, she was hardened. She stopped looking at the refs for calls that weren't coming. She started hitting back. She started talking trash. The technical fouls went up. The nice girl from Iowa disappeared, and a pro was born. But the cost was the innocence of the league. The WNBA used to be a tight-knit sisterhood, the W against the world. Now it is a fractured house. You have the Clark loyalists, and you have the resistance. The locker rooms are talking. The group chats are on fire. We know from insiders that the grateful comment did not sit well with the younger generation. The players coming up now, like Juju Watkins and Paige Buchers, are watching. They are seeing how the league treats its stars, and they are taking notes. Why did the WNBA take this risk? Why did they risk alienating their new fan base? Control. It is always about control. The WNBA establishment, the coaches, the executives, the veteran stars, they want to control the narrative. They want to dictate the hierarchy. They were not ready for a hostile takeover by a ponytailed sharpshooter from the Midwest. They tried to slow roll her coronation. They tried to make her earn it the hard way. They thought that if they let the league beat her up for a year, she would fall in line. She would become just another star, not the star. But the market is undefeated. The ratings did not lie. The jersey sales did not lie. The attendance records did not lie. Every time they tried to suppress her, the demand grew. The warning was drowned out by the noise of the crowd. Look at the TV deal, $2.2 billion. Do you think that happens without the Clark effect? The irony is that the very people who tried to humble her are going to get rich because of her. The max salaries are going up. The charter flights are permanent. The lifestyle they always wanted is finally here, paid for by the player they tried to warn. So where does that leave us? The season is over. The awards have been handed out. Caitlin Clark is the Rookie of the Year. She is first-team All-WNBA. The warning failed. But do not think the war is over. The old guard is still there. The commissioner is still there. The resentment has not vanished. It has just gone underground. They know they can't touch her publicly anymore. She is too big. She is too powerful. So now the game changes. Now it moves to the shadows. It moves to the contract negotiations. It moves to the expansion drafts. It moves to the narratives they spin in the off-season documentaries. We are entering phase 2 of the WNBA soap opera. The welcome to the league phase is done. Now comes the power struggle. And if you thought the hip checks were brutal, wait until you see the politics. The commissioner tried to send a warning, but she forgot one thing. You don't warn the storm. You just batten down the hatches and pray you survive it. If you want to know the real reason why Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark will never be friends, you need to watch our deep dive on the AAU origins. We found the tape from before they were famous, and it explains everything. Click right here.